There is a secret Songbird cyberware in the Phantom Liberty DLC that lets you instantly reset your cybernetics during combat, and there are way more secrets in the expansion, like I usually skip over food stands, but in Phantom Liberty some of them sell iconic foods. You can find 2 of them in the Dogtown marketplace, with the one closest to the fast travel point selling a permanent health increase. Next to him is a Netrunner store where you can also buy a permanent increase to your RAM recovery. There's another food vendor close to Herald, the unique weapon vendor for the DLC, that sells you an increase to your stamina regen, and there are more of these vendors. We'll link a guide in the video description. All these stat increases will cost you 12,000 eddies, which is relatively cheap for a permanent stat increase, so I definitely recommend grabbing them if you have the money. And since we're in the Dogtown marketplace anyway, did you know there's another unique vendor next to Herald that sells some pretty nice items? You might walk past this shop and ignore it as it's marked as a junk shop, but a closer look will reveal that this is not just a random store. The CDPR logo can be seen on the neon sign, and the employees, Marcin and Mikal, are actually modeled after Marcin Iwinski and Michael Kaczynski, the founders of CD Projekt Red. I hope I pronounced those names right, by the way. Unfortunately, they are not here to sell you the next Witcher game, but they do have some very nice items in store, because you can buy skill shards from them that give you 5,000 experience in the skill challenge listed on the item. To give you some perspective, at level 29, you need 2679 for the next level, so you're likely to get 2 levels out of a shard unless your challenge is already at a really high level. All of these shards will cost you 8500 credits, but there is also a more expensive one you can buy for 17,000 eddies that grants you an extra perk point. So a nice shortcut for if you need to unlock one more skill point to complete your build. And speaking of shortcuts, did you know that you can finish the entire Phantom Liberty campaign during the first mission? Okay, maybe fail is a more accurate word, because there is a secret ending to the DLC that triggers if you fail during your attempt to save the president from the plane crash. After the plane is shot down, your next objective is to make it to the crash site. But if you mess around long enough and just drive away from the objective, V will eventually get a call from Songbird telling her that the president is dead. You will then suffer a blackout and wake up in Dogtown, where Johnny fills you in on the details, and you are left free to enjoy the rest of the DLC. So you can keep playing, although I would highly recommend that you go back to a previous save to not miss out on some of the amazing rewards you can get from the main story. And there are way more secrets to find in the Phantom Liberty DLC, of course. If you liked the video so far, be sure to drop a like and help us out, and subscribe for more Cyberpunk content. Now, we talked about a lot of iconic weapons and unique effects in our previous videos on Phantom Liberty, but you can of course also mod weapons to suit your playstyle in Cyberpunk. And the DLC actually adds a series of iconic weapons that are perfect for this, the X-Mod 2 weapons. There are multiple weapons that have an X-Mod variant, but what they all have in common is that they have the maximum available mod slots for their weapon category, as well as improved weapon handling when compared to a regular version of the same weapon. One you can easily find very early is the X-Mod version of the Kyubi rifle. From the Golden Pacific fast travel point, head across the street and jump into this body of water. It's a bit of a swim to the bottom, but the weapon is just waiting there for you to pick it up, so a very easy way to grab an amazing new weapon. If melee is more your thing, you can grab an X-Mod version of the Cutomatic Chainsword by heading to the Terra Cognita fast travel point. Head up the stairs and through the gate, then take a slight right down a flight of stairs. You'll see construction equipment in the distance, so head over there and then take a left around this metal structure. The Cutomatic will be waiting for you around the corner. Now, you might be wondering what mods to put on those weapons, and while it's of course completely up to your preference, I definitely recommend having a look at some of the special mods you can craft with the Chimera's core. Yeah, I completely missed this too, but you can loot the core from the Chimera boss near the start of the DLC and turn it into one of 4 powerful mods. There's actually a 5th option too, as you can put it on display in V's house, sure, but that means you cannot make one of these powerful mods. Basically, there's one for each weapon type. Firecracker is for power weapons and gives the weapon explosive rounds. Wall Puncher allows you to charge tech weapons to 200% capacity without increasing charge time. Then there's Hackatomy for smart weapons, which gives you a small chance to apply a quick hack effect to an enemy when you hit them. And the melee weapon mod Severance gives you a 20% chance to dismember and instantly kill a target under 50% health if you hit their head or limbs. So you can already put that on the chainsword we just talked about, or save it for another weapon, but remember, you can only craft one of these mods. Now, there is a slight benefit to these iconic Chimera mods, because unlike regular regular ones, these can be and re-equipped so you can transfer it to different weapons. It will also automatically unequip when you dismantle, sell or drop the weapon it's attached to, so once you craft it, you'll never lose it. Staying on the note of iconic items, if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend visiting a Ripper dock in Dogtown, because the docks in this DLC sell a lot of new pieces of cyberware, including iconic parts that can only be bought in this new area of the map. Some of these are more catered towards specific playstyles, but there are also some huge general stat buffs that you can buy at one of these vendors. I bought the Cockatrice Optics for instance, which raises my overall crit chance by 30%. You can also slot the Rara Avis in your skeleton slot, which will give you a 35% increase in your armor rating. And if you really want to go all out on cyberware, you can switch whatever you have as your operating system for a chrome compressor and increase your max cyberware capacity by 38. So definitely take your time to browse these vendors in the DLC, as you will find a lot of new items on sale that you can't get any other place. Okay, to be fair, that's not completely true, as you can also get lucky and find iconic cyberware in one of the airdrops that appear in Dogtown. Keep an ear out, as the drops make quite a lot of noise, and then head towards this red flare. Often you'll find a lot of enemies in these locations, so take them out, then hack open the airdrop and claim your loot. In general, these will contain a lot of good stuff like legendary mods, inventory upgrades so you can carry more items, or powerful weapons. There are even some iconic weapons that are rumored to drop from these. We haven't found any, but if you did, let us know in the comments. Next to the Adreno Trigger iconic cyberware that I showed you earlier, Jordan also got lucky and found this Leroy ligament system that increases your movement speed by 18%. And just in case you were wondering, yes, you can buy another piece of cyberware called Jenkins tendons to complete the set. And an increase to your movement speed is of course nice, although if you really want to get somewhere quick, you of course want a nice ride. And well, I don't think you can do much better than this amazing Quadra R7 Charon, which is one of the cool new car models they added with Phantom Liberty. The special thing about this Charon version though is that as you are driving, a holographic flame pattern will appear on the hood of the car. So definitely one of the more flashy cars to drive around in, and the best part is, it's completely free. All you need to do to get it is complete the mission Moving Heat, which is actually kind of easy to miss. From what I was able to find, you need to finish Phantom Liberty and unlock the new ending, which starts with the quest Who Wants to Live Forever. We'll leave a guide for how to unlock that quest in the description, although of course be wary of spoilers. Follow this quest up to the rooftop, then back out and continue playing until you get a text from someone named Ashley. You need to respond to her in order to start this quest. Stealth is advised for this mission, so slap a silencer on your favorite weapon and you should be good to go. At one point you need to make it past a lot of guards, but you can jump in the back of a passing truck and they won't be able to notice you. If you manage to get to the vehicle without being spotted, you can just drive out safely and the R7 Charon is yours to keep. And these amazing endgame DLC rewards just keep popping up, as Jordan, you discovered something very special after your playthrough as well, right?
Yeah, after my ending for the Phantom Liberty DLC, I got a message from Songbird, which led me to a new mission called From Her to Eternity. Now, it did take some time to get the message, so just keep playing, maybe skip time a few times, and then you will likely have it as well. This had me return to one of the locations where you've been with Songbird, and here I found the Quantum Tuner, a very iconic cyberware that you'll have to install in the frontal cortex. It requires quite a lot of space at 45, but the effect is really unique, as the first cyberware you activate during combat, like the slowdown time Zeta tag that I use, can then immediately be used again as you basically reset the cooldown. This only triggers once though during combat, but you also have the plus 12% cooldown time for all the other cyberware, so you will always be able to use your cyberware a bit faster than normal. Now, to get this, you will have to help Songbird through the main story campaign of the DLC, so not give up on her. Totally check out our previous video with more unique items you can get based on your choices. There I go way more in depth on this as well. You can watch that by clicking on the screen, and of course subscribe for way more Cyberpunk 2077 content. A like on the video would really help us out, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.